TheStc and Jim. That's fair. It's good advice, Kev. I'm with you on that one. It's tough, though. It's tough.
What is perhaps going to be tough as well is for the STC to turn this around. Well, I'm just going to adjust our scoreboard. The STC is our blue Terran, spawning in the left top side of Ackland Waste. And he is facing Invictus Gaming Gym in WCS Premier League bracket stage, round of 32. The winner of this will play against one of the people that dropped out of Premier League. Round of 16.
But the winner of this will also not play again today. In fact, we're going to have one more match today. It's going to be Puck versus Jon Snow. It's going to be a PVZ, right? Jon Snow's a Zerg player.
You know nothing, Jon Snow. But yes, he's a Zerg player. Did you see this thing on about fashion with Jon Snow's walking around in like a purple shirt with a very cute animal on it, and then it says fashion, you know nothing. I must say, like, even though Game of Thrones is pretty cool, it's also so overrated. I feel everything is overrated these days. Maybe I'm just bitter.
I think we should maybe trade names. Become Mr. Bitter.
I'm not bitter about StarCraft. I'm still loving StarCraft. StarCraft still makes me happy.
A little bit of a probe scout coming out from Jim. He said, hey, last game was a little bit cray. Let's see what you're up to this time.
Yeah. Not scouting too early though. It's not a 9 scout. It's just after the gate, I believe 13 scout. He's gonna find that the Rex is in the main base, and I'm not sure why the STC did that in the last game, man. I'm not sure, like, is Jim known for playing super greedy? Yeah, does Jim go Nexus first? Maybe on Whirlwind, but I don't see Jim going a whole lot of Nexus first on maps like Belshire.
I think it's safe to say that certainly with the Mothership Core, things like 2 racks against Protoss just have lost a lot of their effectiveness.
It is definitely still possible. But what was this crazy game that I watched, I think in Pro League once on Newkirk Precinct, where Terran went for 11 and 11 as well. And I don't know who the Protoss was. I think maybe it was Parting, or it was one of those really good guys, maybe Deer Trap, I don't know. And he just like, he scouted absolutely nothing, he cancelled the Zealot, and he still defended the 11-11. And he was playing against a world-class Terran as well. I'm not sure if it was Innovation, but I'm sure there's someone out there who remembers the game perfectly. And he's like, Roddy, you're completely wrong, it was this against this. But either way, it is very hard to make that kind of stuff work. Like, it definitely works if Protoss messes up once. Like, one misclick, losing the Mothership Core, losing a Stalker, could change everything, because then the Protoss doesn't have DPS anymore.
Now, Trap recently finished 5th in GSL, right? Or WCS Korea, I should say.
Yeah, that is correct. Huh?
We were watching a couple of those games yesterday. He looked so dominant.
Yeah, he looked very sweet. It's going to be a lot of fun to see him in Toronto. Of course, guys, Toronto is coming up. I hope you guys are pumped. I am pumped. I'm so pumped. I want to scream it off the CN Tower, man.
You can do that.
And sing a song together with Drake.
You can actually go outside of the CN Tower and scream that down at Toronto if you want. I think it's more likely that you'll be screaming for your life.
Canadian's going to be like, a boot what? A boot what? Eh? I don't have a very good Canadian accent. Canadian people are so friendly.
Now I want to try to make one, but I can't think of what it would sound like.
Very quick engineering bay here for the SCC. He's also opening up with a Turex, very quick reactor, so he's going to get plenty of Marines. Probably just factory behind this. I don't think he's going to drop additional Rexes. And Jim is just playing safe, man.
Safe, slow and steady wins the race.
Very safe. He's
One
getting
gate, fast expand, gateway behind it.
Yeah, can't get much safer than that. Very quick +1 being researched for the SCC.
Perhaps thinking of a stim timing.
Yeah, just YOLO swag 420, stim in, +1, hope for the best.
Remember those old ghost rushes that people would do? Where they would
yeah, this is so cool, man. I died against that multiple. There was this French Terran, I forgot his name. It wasn't Sarens, but it was the other guy. It was the guy that knocked out Naniwa back then at IM Gamescom that made Naniwa. RS or something? RS?
That sounds...
Yeah,
it could be correct. When I think French Terran, I can only think Daishi, but...
No, that's it wasn't Daishi. I think it was Aures or RS. And he used to do that Ghost Rush build all the time against me, and I got so mad when I lost against it.
This seems like a poor time to work in it without...
Yeah, I don't know why Jim did that. He might be able to micro a little bit with his talk about he's making life harder on himself. Jim has 3 gates, and I know that he loves 3-gate pressure and stuff, but the SCC is mustering out plenty of units. So we don't have concussive shells, so SCC should be a little careful over here as well.
Jim, upon seeing that Marauder, says, yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to micro back and forth against that Marauder.
It's hard enough being from China.
What is Jim going to do? Like, I don't understand it, man. He doesn't have any follow-up tech. Is he going to drop 4 more gates in just 7 gate? The hell out of SCC?
I honestly sort of feel like that's where he's going. But we'll see. He's still got plenty of time to choose a path.
Unless he right now drops a Twilight and a Forge and just starts macroing up. No, that's always
Jim.
something you can transition to. This probe.
That's a pylon begging for some gateways.
Which one?
One in the main base.
This one?
Right there. He says, hey, build gateways on me.
Build gateways around me. I'm cold. Oh man, it's going to be Forge will be gone. So
Forge,
I think.
And then probably.
I think Twilight. It's too late to go into Colossus this phase in the game. Doesn't mean you don't want to get a Robo, because you do. Observers are always fantastic. But I think it's more likely that he's going to throw down a Twilight before a Robo. Or, you know, Jim is just going to be Jim.
He's
and
just going to make the Forge and then
research
get 7 gates.
01 and then still 7 gates. Exactly. No, that comes Twilight.
So it's normal stuff from Jim. He's going to play a macro game. The STC is tearing down rocks like it's his job. He wants to take a third base as well.
How's that American show called, where they follow the family who chucks wood?
Chucks wood?
Yeah, like this family that lives in the forest and cuts down trees all day. They're very famous for cutting down trees.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't know that series? It's a big deal.
There's
in
some
Holland.
pretty terrible shows on TV though. When I was visiting family a few weeks ago, my dad was watching this show called Amish Mafia. And it's about mobsters that are Amish. Which just makes no sense to me. It doesn't seem like a very Amish thing to do.
I don't know what Amish is, man, so I'm not sure if it's
Oh,
funny or
I
not.
guess you wouldn't know what Amish is because you're not from here.
No.
But they speak they speak a language called Pennsylvania Dutch.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I can understand.
And they
that.
have beards and they don't believe in technology.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that once. They still live like in the 1800s.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
And their kids, when they get like 16, they go off the plantation basically and go crazy for a little while. And then they either choose to come back and be Amish or to go YOLO.
Never go YOLO.
Never go full YOLO.
Templar Archives on the way, charge being restricted as well. It could still be a 2-base timing from Jim. With a couple of High Templars, doesn't have to be Storm, could just be a few Archons as well. I don't think this is a very good map for it though. I think it's very hard to make something happen if they bunker up big time over here. You're gonna have to go through this little choke. You don't want to do that with a lot of charge slots. The SSC is gonna start putting on some pressure on Jim anyway, so I think right now if Jim ever wants to make a 2-base attack, he's gonna lose every single unit at home. So he's not gonna do that. He's just gonna go up to 3 bases, but a little later than
Pretty
his opponent.
scary drop in the back of Jim's main.
Yeah.
He's not reacting to it at
Jim's
all.
gonna lose a lot of props over here, man.
1, 2, skip a few. Looks like just 4 for now. Nexus is going to get fired at.
Not just the first were a little late, Jim. How's it late to see going? Oh, poor Jim. Of course, Jim playing from China will always have to deal with a little bit of latency issues. So every now and then we might see a very late force field. A force field that Jim would not normally drop on land environment.
Jim has made many gateways, Kevin. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah,
5, 6,
but
7,
I don't
8.
understand because he's still gonna. He didn't take out these rocks, which gives me the feeling. Okay, he's sending out the. No, he's blocked by his factory. It's very nice for the SSC because now the SSC is gonna see that this army is out of position, and at the same time he's like, that means I can drop for days. We do have a High Templar here. He could feedback at least one of them. He's not gonna kill the man.
It really does look like he's playing with like 300 ping. Everything's moving. Just
I also think he's playing from a notebook today instead of a PC.
Seriously?
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty sick.
Jim, man. Jim does not care about
Just rolls right through people.
circumstances.
Crushes nerds on a laptop. It's like a 1996 Toshiba laptop.
It has Microsoft Paint and StarCraft 2. Alright, Dark Shrine is being walked in as well. Jim's is getting everything, man. He's getting +2 armor, he's getting a robotics facility. But it's gonna be hard for Jim to defend properly at all 3 places. It's not impossible as he has quite a few High Templars. He has 7 of them even. Jesus, where do you get that gas from? Like if I do this, I don't have 7 High Templars. And a robot tag and Dark Shrine
I
tag.
guess it's because he hasn't built anything else, man. He's got 17 zealots.
Yeah, I guess it's...
So not really any sentries, just a couple of
Oh, it might be. Oh, there's a lot of. Maybe a doom drop, like a storm on this doom drop would be really sick. Storm, storm. This is the moment you want to storm. Storm. High Templar, you were mentioned. You were destined for great things. Okay, now Jim is in a world of trouble.
Yeah.
Like he's not gonna. By the time that he's gonna be able to clean this up, he's gonna lose his 3rd base. If the SSC does this right, I think Photon Overcharge is not. Yeah, it is activated, but God, there's so much DPS in this drop.
Yeah, and there's still no Templar, man. Where are the High Templar?
Team is falling apart a little bit, then. He's dropping a couple of storms. No, this is only High Templars running into Marauders.
Storm just the Marauders, Jim. Oh dear, this is falling apart. Jim's in a lot of trouble. He's gonna lose his main base. The 3rd base looks like it is also going to be in big man. He just can't deal with this in his main. Everything's gonna die. I think Jim's dead.
Yep, I think Jim is dead. He had 7 High Templars, but not a single one. He still has 2 remaining, but well, you know, with the Dark Templar, okay, scan is going down as well, so even the Dark Templar gets picked off, and eventually the SSC decides to back off. Jim still has 86 supply, which I find surprising because I expected it
And
to
all
be
of
less.
that, he lost no workers.
No, he lost everything else, but he lost no workers. If Jim holds this, I don't know how he would do it.
There's no way.
I know there's no way, but if he would, then
This High Templar, if Jim can cast one storm.
actually, you know, if he pushes back this army,
Does he just have sick upgrades? Yeah, +2 armor.
Yeah.
Not really.
plus armor is good though. But Jim
there it
knows
is.
what time it is.
Good game. The STC